So how many of you guys have parents or like parental figures who are telling you nonstop not to procrastinate? Show of hands. Okay. So my mom's pretty cool. She has traveled like all over the world. She's done some really, really cool things. She met my dad while they were climbing mountains in Patagonia. So one time I asked my mom, like, what is something that you would want me to know about the world? Like, what's one truth that you've learned after having been so many places and lived such a full life? Like, tell me something that you think that I should really know as your daughter. And right off the bat, she was like, don't procrastinate. I was like, really? That's all you've got for me? Like, no profound truth or anything like that. She said, don't procrastinate. So skipping ahead a little bit, last semester I was in a play called The End of History, and me and several of my cast members got nominated for an acting award as part of a regional theater coalition that recently had its festival up in Washington. So last week, me and the rest of the theater department drove up to Washington to participate in this festival. And I had, from the beginning of December up until the beginning of February to prepare for this festival. And needless to say, I lost track of time, and I wound up the day before the festival, or the day before I was supposed to go into my audition, not even having fully memorized a monologue that I was going to present to these people. And I wasn't really stressing about it. I was like, well, I could spend the rest of this whole day memorizing and I'll be fine. I'll just go in and I'll do it. But again, I got carried away in things, and I wound up standing in line for an hour and a half to buy tickets for a show called The Pillow Man, which was to go up at 1:30, and my audition was at 4:20. And so I stood in line, and I was like, well, I can memorize while I'm standing in line, but of course that didn't happen. I was talking to people, and eventually we get our tickets, we go to the theater. I'm like, well, it'll be fine. I have it mostly memorized, like, it'll be good. I've got an hour probably in between when this show ends and when I have to go to my audition, and I can totally just do it right then and practice it a little bit and go in and be fine. So I end up going to this show, and the show ends, and my teacher asked me, oh, so what are you going to do for the rest of the day? And I was like, well, I have my audition at 4:20, and he's like, it's 4:27. So I had missed it. So part of the lesson that I'm trying to teach right now is don't procrastinate, because I could easily have figured out that I was not going to make it to the audition in time, memorized everything, left the show early, and gone to that audition and had the opportunity to get a job with some major company on the West Coast. That could have happened. But instead, I didn't, and I just kind of went with it. And I ended up seeing this incredible, incredible show called The Pillow Man, which if you ever get the chance to see it, I highly recommend it. It was like pure theater magic. And I cried for like half an hour after the show was over. And so kind of what I learned from that is that it's true, you really shouldn't procrastinate that much, because I didn't get as much out of this festival as I could have in terms of preparing for my future as someone in the theater world, which is a hard one to break into. But I also am a firm believer, not so much in predestiny, but in the idea that wherever you wind up is where you're supposed to be. There's a quote that I really like that I think is just kind of a general quote. I don't think anybody really said it, but it has its roots in Buddhism, and it's be open to outcome, not attached to outcome. And that I felt was really relevant to this, because I ended up seeing something that was really, really inspiring to me, and overall I felt like seeing that play was a better use of my time. And I couldn't have prepared for that. So So